Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the cabin.
Thursday morning at the cabin. Ollie, I have to be honest, you were almost going it alone this morning.
Nah.
This close.
We made it.
This close.
I'm all tucked in. I feel cozy. Wiping the sweat off my brow. It's all good.
We have been, Nicole and I have been house sitting for her parents, because they've been in Mexico for the last 3 weeks. Got back into our place yesterday as they returned today. And, the comfy bed. Not that their bed's not comfy, but the bed that I had missed for 3 weeks. I didn't want to leave. It was this close.
Well, now I feel bad.
Well, you should feel bad.
Well, I feel bad. You had to get up and come here. B, I feel bad that my bed doesn't sound nearly as comfy as that.
Oh, no?
That's comfy, but you're describing a world of bliss over there.
Oddly enough, we went from a king size back to our queen size. I think I like the queen size better.
But was the king size just not snuggly enough? You sort of peered across the void?
Yeah.
Hey, person I know.
Yeah, actually. It sounds stupid, but it's harder to cuddle.
Now, if I say the word hashtag, what are you going to say after that?
Blessed?
First world problems.
My
bed is just too large. I'm sorry. No.
Too big. No,
too big for romance.
I got to downgrade.
So for Valentine's Day, smaller beds.
Smaller beds. Yeah. I'll live within our means a little more. I don't think that's a bad message at all.
Get a single bed, cozy up.
Wow, let's not go nuts here. Not a single bed. Not even a double. That's just ridiculous.
Mornings at the cabin, the podcast.
Lecter and Ollie with you. So far, we'll see who else shows up at the cabin. Sometimes it's kind of a smorgasbord of characters at this radio station.
A smorgasbord. No
smorgasbord.
Okay.
I don't actually know what that means. I think it's just a board with a bunch of meat on it.
Yeah, an array, a platter, a buffet.
Platter is a much classier sounding word.
What, the smorgasbord?
Than smorgasbord.
I mean, smorgasbord, it depends what kind of air you're trying to create.
Smorgasbord is just a smorgasbord of a word. There's just an array of vowels in there.
It's very Swedish chef.
Very Swedish chef, yes. Ollie, first off...
Are you taking a selfie?
I'm going to take a selfie. Yes, on the air. Maybe the first on-air selfie in cabin radio history.
Have you met Kevin?
Oh, that's true. Good point. Yeah. No, I take it all back. It is not the first on-air selfie in cabin radio history.
Let me move my microphone. I'm in.
So let me just reposition here. I know this is great radio.
It's terrible, but we're going with it. Okay. Hi, people.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go.
Okay,
got the selfie.
Why did we do that?
I'm doing that because there is a special day today that is taking place that only matters to people in radio.
Oh, God.
It's World Radio Day.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. February the 13th.
Why
February the 13th?
Because most people in radio are hapless and single and need something to celebrate before Valentine's Day.
I was trying to decide if you're not joking or not. I don't think you are. That makes a lot of sense to me.
I don't think that's the actual reason. I just came up with that on the spot. But it is World Radio Day today.
Okay. Well,
isn't that exciting?
It would be more exciting if we had a radio signal. Cough, CRTC, cough.
Well, we'll put it up on the internet and no one will know the difference. We'll just put it into a community of radio people who are doing the exact same, taking selfies this morning for World Radio Day. And they'll just assume that we're on the radio just like them. We're one of the cool kids now, Ollie.
We have basically just tried the biggest confidence trick in the world for the last 2 years, which is just to build a radio station and act like we are one.
Yeah.
In the face of the fact that we're not.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. The word radio is in the name.
Yeah.
And
very bold.
We have radio studios and we run radio programming, more radio programming than most, in terms of locally made stuff.
Yep.
And have basically been so we're not a radio station. Prove it.
But we're going to do everything you would expect of a radio station if they were giving a FM license.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're going for.
So what we're saying, CRTC, is it should be a slam dunk. If you get on with it, be great.
Yeah, and then we can make this selfie legit. By the way, your mom just texted me saying, Happy World Radio Day, and send the pic to me.
Oh, bless you, Mom.
Hi, Babs. Glad you're listening.
Morning, Mom.
We also got a message confirming that Danica Patterson is listening once again this morning, as I would hope she was, because we sent a song out to her kid Draven yesterday.
Yeah.
And she sent a video back of Draven dancing to the song as it was playing on Cabin Radio.
It's amazing.
Super adorable. But Danica wanted to let us know that the Sly and the Family Stone song we just played, thank you for letting me be myself again. That's the way the actual song is titled, Danica, just to let you know.
Danica wrote in and said, have you seen how this is spelled on the app? Yeah, that's them, not us.
That's not just us being goofballs, Danica. Sly did a lot of drugs back in the day. That's kind of how things shook down.
A little sly, a little stoned, and that's what happens.
Anyway, happy World Radio Day to all who probably don't care, but us in this studio right now. And happy Valentine's Day Eve.
Yeah.
The big day is tomorrow.
Big day's tomorrow.
And of course, we are still looking for your terrible date stories. You still have a little bit of time to get them in. We've got strong candidates, but don't let that intimidate you. Send in your terrible date story to mailbox at cabinradio.ca or a Facebook message to the Cabin Radio Facebook page. Or AJ wanted me to stress yesterday that you can comment on Ollie's terrible date story that is still on our Facebook page if you want to go the completely non-anonymous route and just throw your name out there.
Next year, people should have to send us Valentine's cards with their stories inside.
Oh, that would be nice.
That way, on World Radio Day, we could feel a little more love and
Yeah.
a little less hopelessly single.
Oh.
And there'd be all these Valentine's cards decked out on the table there. And obviously, everybody would pick them up and read like, I was injured by a man wielding an ulu in a strange house one evening. They'd be like, what a strange Valentine's card, if they didn't understand the terrible date stories and what we'd already heard on the radio. But you know what? I like that look. I think it'd be good.
That's good. That's
Next
good.
year-
Yeah, I like that.
Next year, we're going to get you to send in Valentine's cards.
Yeah.
You still can this year. We will accept your Valentine's cards. You might not make it in time for the contest, but
Yeah.
we'll still take your cards.
Yeah, don't mail them in. Maybe hand deliver
Maybe,
those,
yeah,
but,
I mean, come on. Most of you live in Yellowknife. Yeah, Mum, maybe you
Yeah,
don't
come
hand
on.
deliver yours. Take a little while. Not sure you'd make it before the deadline tomorrow.
So get those in, mailbox at cabinradio.ca, Facebook message to the Cabin Radio Facebook page, or comment on Ollie's terrible date story on the Facebook page. And you could be in to win free flowers from Flowers North and a Valentine's Day gift basket courtesy of Great Slave Gifts. We do have a terrible date story coming up, and we were promised this last week from Shannon.
Oh.
I don't know if you were, so we were at the BK a little bit Saturday night, and Shannon shared a terrible date story with us while we were there. I don't know if you had arrived yet.
I don't remember it. I don't think I had.
It was one of those like so bad and then like verged on scary. Not even verged. It was straight up scary. And she was just laughing away like, can you believe the things I get myself into? Me and Jesse are just looking at her like, oh my God, Shannon.
And so she's telling us the story now.
I think this is a different story, though. I think this one might be. I think this one might be a little more fun. But
Okay.
I haven't screened the whole thing yet. But yes, Shannon has a terrible date story for us a little bit later on.
Cabin Radio's morning show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Lecter, AJ, and Ollie with you on your Thursday morning. Now, I realize that we probably kind of messed up your Thursday morning routine. If you're a regular listener to Mornings at the Cabin, you're probably used to your Thursday morning being regaled with tales of how our team did at trivia last night. However, our team did not make it to trivia last night. Unless someone just unspokenly went. Maybe Adam just went and played by himself, or Nancy showed up, played by herself. I don't know. But Jesse was at rehearsal. I'm interested to know how that went because his voice has been giving him all kinds of issues lately, and he was actually singing in rehearsal last night. So I guess we'll see if he turns up tomorrow morning and maybe sounds like AJ on the off moment when your voice decides to take a vacation south there.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I was hoping it would happen then. But the one time you want it to happen.
Of course, Jesse not here this morning because, unfortunately, Betty, her leg is giving her issues.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Poor
they
Betty.
let her out. I guess he was saying they let her out the other day because she was finally off the injured reserve. She's allowed to go out and run again, and she started limping. And so, yeah, Betty's having some issues, so she's got to go see the doctor today and get checked out. So, best of luck to Betty, Jesse, and Phoenix.
Betty's a dog, by the way.
Betty is a
For
dog.
anybody
Oh, yeah.
listening, Betty's a dog.
my
Everyone
goodness.
knows that Betty's a dog. Come on, Ollie.
Just like to make sure any first-time listeners who are like, "What? They let her out the other day, and now she's limping."
Well, then
what
if they're
what is
first-
happening?
If they're first-time listeners, they're wondering who Jesse is too. Like you got so much to catch up on if you're a first-time listener.
We're one of those very cliquey podcasts where once you've listened to about 20 of these things, you're going to be like, "Oh yeah, these are my guys. I get all the in-jokes." But until that point, good luck.
Yeah, it's on you to catch up. All right, we can't go through everything that's happened in the last almost 2 years now.
There should be a webpage. There should be a page on our website that just is like the glossary, the Mornings at the Cabin glossary.
That'd be
explains,
good. Yeah,
explains all the different, like, who's Betty?
yeah.
Like, yeah, all the different, yeah.
Penny.
Like,
I mean,
when
you
people
guys-
say
yeah.
honorable mention on Mornings at the Cabin, like, what are they referring
Why
to?
is that an insult?
Yeah, like, it's very important that we should put some backstory out.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay,
actually,
yeah. All right, I'll add that to the list of things to do. This is
Yeah.
how our creative meetings happen, by the way. They just randomly occur. We had an hour-long meeting last week out of nowhere about a thing because we just started talking about it, and increasingly, person after person got drawn into the room. And then eventually we had like a 6-person meeting for an hour on one specific issue that started with just 2 of us having a chat.
Right.
We're very organized. Now we're having a meeting on the air about website development. It's very exciting.
Incidentally enough, I am very excited about that thing that we
Yeah.
talked about last week.
It was a great thing.
That was a great thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good thing.
It's going to be a thing.
So once again, send in your terrible date stories, mailbox at cabinradio.ca, Facebook message to the Cabin Radio Facebook page for a chance to win free flowers from Flowers North or a Valentine's Day gift basket courtesy of Great Slave Gifts. And we talked about Shannon sending in a terrible date story. My voice is doing the thing. There we go. Much better. Whew. Yeah, we talked about Shannon's terrible date story.
Mm-hmm.
I have read her terrible date story now. It is pretty good.
Well, I thought she was coming in.
No, she's not going to come in.
Oh.
We
No, she
wanted
asked us to do it. She asked us to do it anonymously.
Yeah, well,
So now we're just reading it and saying, "This is Shannon's."
We could have more than one friend named Shannon.
I was going to make up a name for her. In fact, I was going to ask her, "Do you want us to make up a name?" We'll go with like Manensure.
Manensure.
But the first line,
Man and Sure. It's a sort of odd thing. My name is Man. Sure.
sure.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah. But the first line in her email said, "You can say this one is me." So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like those
But she
ones.
didn't want to read it herself. I don't know why. I don't know if she just didn't want to come in earlier. Understandable.
Fair enough.
You know, she's got a full day of work ahead of her outside of the cabin here. So, but no, she shared her terrible date story with us. It might be one of her first dates.
Oh,
Yeah. So look forward to that. We'll hold off on that for a bit. We'll do that in the 8 o'clock hour. But yeah, it's a good one. So look forward to that. Valentine's Day plans, though. It's tomorrow. What are you guys doing?
me?
Yeah, you start. Why not?
Oh boy. I don't know. Might re-download Tinder, I guess.
Attaboy.
Wait, do you go on and off of Tinder? Do you,
All the time.
Yeah?
I download
Why?
it and I go, why did I download this?
Ah.
And I delete it. And then, little moments of vulnerability.
Oh, yeah.
I should
Yeah.
really download Tinder. And then I delete
Yep.
it again.
Those 3 people are still on it, and back you go.
Why don't you just keep it on your phone? I mean,
Because it's just another thing that I go through on my phone. Sometimes I'll delete the Facebook app because I find throughout the day I'll just
scroll
If
aimlessly.
I need to just
Yeah.
let my mind wander, I'll just go through apps. So I try and keep them dialed back.
Have
Right.
you deleted TikTok?
No.
Oh, come on. Delete
No,
TikTok.
I haven't.
Delete TikTok.
It's so good, especially if you got an extended bathroom trip. TikTok is fantastic. You can
That
just
did
scroll
not-
it.
that did not sound right at
No Valentine's Day
all.
plans, you say? Surely not. No, really?
TikTok is my. I got a couple videos I
no,
wanna
stop,
make.
stop.
think-
No, don't link TikTok to Valentine's Day. That is
would think-
inappropriate.
All the ladies will be lining up right now. What's that? Extended bathroom breaks? Watching TikTok? How is
No.
this man single?
No. Keep Tinder on your phone. Delete TikTok. That's my personal advice to you.
Seems a little
AJ.
backwards to me, but all right.
I think optically, I feel like that
Optically,
looks
I don't want to
better.
discuss anything I've just heard.
You know what? Deleting Tinder would make a great TikTok. I can make a good video of that.
Oh, my.
Do you actually make videos too?
No.
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 Have you done
Suddenly got
any?
in the bathroom for the love of...
Well, yeah, not from there. No. We don't need any video,
No one
TikTok.
music montages. Well, anyway, let's get off that. Okay, that's enough of AJ's Valentine's Day plans.
I'm a bit of a romantic.
Yeah, well, yeah, we knew that. Ollie, what are you up to?
I've got a very romantic night planned with my first love, actually.
Your first love?
Yep, my sort of,
Is this the model that ditched you?
But no. This was even before her.
We got to add that to the Mornings at the Cabin glossary.
We'll add that to the glossary. At the time, I was ditched by what I called a supermodel and what Jesse then referred to as a distinctly average model.
Yeah, she's just super at her job.
Yeah, we'll add that to the glossary. No, I'm playing cricket tomorrow night. That's
cricket, nice.
So this is the second cricket training session.
Okay,
being held at the field house. I missed the first one because I was still away in the UK, but I've had all my cricket equipment over here for years when just haven't had a chance to use it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, they've got their second session booked. I guess the only fieldhouse time that they can get is 9 till 11 on Valentine's evening on a Friday night, because you better believe nobody else wants to be in the fieldhouse at that time. So that's the time that we have. I can only assume that the cricket community in Yellowknife is extraordinarily single or very, very married.
Yeah, very secure in their relationship.
So secure that they can afford to go on Valentine's night for 2 hours of cricket.
Well, they've always said cricket is the game of love, haven't they?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like the biggest trophy in cricket is called the Ashes because they like burned a bunch of stuff down and then put it in an urn. So I don't know. Is that the game of love? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, it just strikes me as a long-term relationship. Anytime you get into a cricket game, right?
Isn't tennis the game of love? I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But you also
I
see
what you
did.
See what each other are doing.
Yeah, we're making jokes on the radio.
Nice.
Yeah. You see what we're doing, AJ?
No, I'm completely lost.
All right. Well,
so I did invite you. I said, like, you should come out to cricket. Valentine's at 9 p.m. No. So the next time there is a cricket training session,
I'm totally down.
We got to get you out there. I mean, you're an Australian. You should be able to play.
I'll come bowl.
I know that you're not a massive fan of cricket, but as you're the resident Australian, so you got to come out and, like, I don't know, glare at people and swear or something.
I don't mind a little backyard cricket or 2020.
Okay,
2020.
Yeah, it's kind of like the shortened version of normal cricket, like a day.
Only takes 2 days.
Okay. Have you ever heard of tin can cricket?
What is that? When you play it on Tin Can Hill?
No,
because it didn't go well when we did that.
No, it's like a recreational adapted version in North America of some kind. My parents used to play it like back in the day in like my grandma and grandpa's yard.
You mean baseball?
No, like they called it. Like they had like probably a beer can out there, and I think maybe because like you're supposed to hit the pin with the ball. I don't know cricket at all, so I'm going to stumble my way through this.
You're not entirely wrong.
Okay, you're okay. So
nothing is called a pin in cricket, but I think what you're trying to refer to is the stumps.
The stumps.
So there's a set of 3 stumps that are little wooden pins, if you will.
Yes.
And you've got to try and hit those with the ball if you are the bowler.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not. Yeah. Okay. So tin can cricket. If you like stacked some cans up, if you're having some fun in the backyard.
Yep.
Theoretically, that could be a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So look at you. You've got illustrious cricket playing heritage.
Look at that. A whole heritage.
Look, if you played any sport, if anyone's played any sport in their lives that involved like throwing a ball or hitting a ball with a bat, you're gonna be all right at cricket.
Yeah.
It's just the same kind of deal. Some of the rules are a bit different. The equipment looks a bit different. Same jazz. Throw ball, hit ball, run around a bit, score.
Does everyone wear a face mask?
No.
Who does? Just the
so playing in the field house, nobody. Playing like in a real cricket game at like a good level, then the people batting and the catcher, the wicketkeeper, it's called.
Right.
Like those guys. And maybe 1 or 2 fielders if they are super close.
Oh, okay. And what kind of ball do they use? Do they use like a softer ball at the field house? Or do they use one of those
I am imagining they'll use a softer ball. If they use like a full-on cricket ball in the field house, that's going to break some stuff and leave some marks. So I'm assuming that we're going to play with, like, they've got indoor. So cricket uses like indoor balls and things like that specifically for this purpose.
Okay.
I'm hoping they got one of those because, if we're playing with real cricket balls, then there's going to be a bill at the end of the evening. And we're going to have to pay that bill.
Okay, so just for clarification's sake, we don't actually have any Valentine's Day plans tomorrow night. So I just don't want to go out at 9 on a Friday night. But we're getting our Valentine's Day plans out of the way early. We are making our appearance at the Elks a day late for trivia. Going for steaks tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. So whatever you are doing with your Valentine's Day today or tomorrow, if you want to beat the rush and do it today, that's an option. Either way, if you don't have any plans and you want to do something, at least maybe just make yourself feel better, terrible date story. Mailbox at cabinradio.ca. Facebook message to the Cabin Radio Facebook page. And you could have flowers from Flowers North and a Valentine's Day gift basket from Great Slave Gifts.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
We have a terrible date story from our own Shannon Moore, which I think has been highly anticipated this week. I don't know why. I think Shannon has just offered up this information about her personal and dating life, that she has had more than a couple terrible dates. And now we've got one right in front of us. So this is very exciting.
But when we told her about the contest, she was like, oh, I've got tons.
Yeah. Can I win?
Yeah.
No.
Every time I've been on a date.
Well, I'm sure she's had a couple good ones.
Sure, one or two in there, yeah.
Okay. Should we get into this? Shannon Moore's highly anticipated terrible date story.
Should I play some music?
Please.
Here we go.
Maestro. Oh, there we go. All right. So, full disclosure, she sent us a terrible date story, and then she made a revision to that terrible date story. So this is the revised version. She now has a preamble. I have had many terrible dates, including the BK story that we referenced earlier. 2YK for reading on air. Little 2 Yellowknife. A guy who didn't speak the entire date. And a guy who, at the end of the date, told me that he's a life coach and has met most of his clients through online dating. How we met. But this one is from my naive dating days. I was 17, working at a Pizza Hut back in Ontario. Oh, that was nicely timed.
That was beautiful.
Well done. You know this song.
Not many people hit the post in a dating story.
Wow. In an
Beautiful.
Instrumental piece.
Beautiful.
Anyway, back to Shannon's terrible date story.
World Radio Day, everybody. Woo!
I was 17, working at a Pizza Hut back in Ontario, and this slightly older, attractive server, I think 22, asked me out to a movie. I accepted. As we chatted about where and when, he said I'd have to pick him up. Fine. I had my license, and I borrowed the car. He said to swing by a bit early to his place. Fine. A quick tour, then the movie. I get there, and he jokes about, quote, the grand tour. It's a disaster. He lives with 3 other college guys. I should have known the squalor he lived in. Oh, good word, Shannon. I have an older brother. But then he shows me the hangout room downstairs, with pages all over the walls from nudie mags.
Ah, the man cave.
Oh, boy.
The old man cave. I kind of rolled my eyes, and he kind of laughed. We get to the theater. He starts looking for a friend of his who he says works there. We're literally standing there waiting. I don't understand. He finally says, oh, he was going to get us in for free. Oh, that's too bad, I say. So we walk over to the ticket counter. He doesn't step forward. It was getting awkward. So I stepped forward. And he quickly stepped forward as well, into another line. Ugh. She actually wrote that. I don't care if I pay for myself. I'm a modern woman. But being so sneaky about it. Same thing happened at the snack counter. Oh, it gets worse. So I see these school bullies I'd had since grade 5. I think, I'm pretty cool, going out with a handsome college guy. This is the one moment of the story where the college guy became cool again. We sit down. The guy turns to me to say something, and I almost cringed when his distastefully sour breath hit me right in the face.
Oh, gross.
I even did the, want some gum? As I pull out my pack of gum and put some in my own mouth thing. Oh, no thanks, he says. I take him home, and he takes my hand awkwardly and kisses it. More just impeccable timing. Kenny G is just nailing it this morning. In my most friendly voice, I said, have a good night. And he got out. And that is one of Shannon's many, should she say, terrible date stories.
Wow.
Well done,
can I just say,
well done.
Applause for her, applause for you, applause for Kenny G. Yeah, that's it, Kenny. You hit that solo in the background. You deserved it.
Oh my goodness. You hit that incredibly well.
What can I say, guys?
Amazing.
World Radio. It's the magic of World Radio Day.
Yep.
It's just flowing through your veins right now.
Terrible date. Great radio.
Out-of-body experience.
Mailbox at cabinradio.ca. You've got 1 day left. Get us your terrible date stories. Facebook message to the Cabin Radio Facebook page or comment under Ollie's terrible date story on the Cabin Radio Facebook page. I don't want to turn off the Kenny G.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Lecter, AJ, and Ollie with you on your Thursday morning on Valentine's Day Eve. Gentlemen, in the interest of that, we just heard a song from my celebrity crush. I'm going to ask you what your celebrity... I want it off the top of your head. The first name that comes to your mind, your celebrity crush. I'll just start. AJ, you look like you need some time to think.
No, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll start off anyway. Mine is definitely Ariana Grande. I just think she's perfect. To the point where I'm not even sure if Nicole liked her music before, but I think out of principle she can't now. Because it's just my love affair with Ariana is just a little too much.
Competition.
It's well, not really, because I am so far not in her league.
You're a radio star. You need to hold yourself up way higher.
Well, I'm an internet radio star. AJ, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
90s at 9's a big deal, man.
When we got that FM license, Ariana might be getting a call. Just kidding, Nicole.
Nicole, you're in no danger. Let's face it.
No,
he
you're
said
fine.
when we get our FM license.
Yeah, I'm gonna be over the hill by that point. Good God! All right,
Ariana is not going to be interested by this point.
No, and that's to say that she is now.
She is now.
Anyway, Ollie, celebrity crush.
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Yep.
Classy.
Yeah. No, I cannot envisage a circumstance in which I would say no.
Interesting.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
What about Amal? Huh?
Well, I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
But
you feel bad for her?
Well, because I'd have taken her man.
Oh, I think she's fine. She's secure.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to put up a fight, you know.
Yeah, okay.
You got to try.
Get over it.
No, I mean, I don't, like, these days, I don't really identify as anything other than a straight man, but it's probably like straight plus George.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay. And AJ, celebrity crush?
Alexandra Daddario.
I don't know who that is.
She was in True Detective.
Okay. What season?
Very first one.
Okay.
Yeah, she was also in Baywatch.
Oh, okay. I think I know. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about now. She was, she was Matthew McConaughey's like love interest in the first season.
Not Matthews, the other one. Ed?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
She's his wife. Oh,
like
no.
mistress.
Yeah. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen that first season. Actually, that's the only season I've seen of True Detective because, well, the second one was a disaster. I heard that third one was actually really good.
I only watched the first one. I loved it.
Yeah. Just because of her, or did you actually like the show?
Oh, I actually liked the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
She was a nice little bonus.
Ah.
Yeah.
There you go. Our 3 celebrity crushes on Mornings at the Cabin. I wanted to get into this. Ollie, you had a special moment you shared with all of us on your Facebook yesterday. What was it now? The 10-year anniversary of the Vancouver 2010 opening ceremonies. Mm-hmm. You were there. Was that your first time in Canada?
No. But it was my first Olympic opening ceremony.
Okay.
So I'd been to Vancouver before in 98, and I'd been to other bits of Canada before as well. But it was my first time being in Canada for work. And yeah, like first Olympics that I'd been to as a reporter, and managed to get a ticket to the opening ceremony. Didn't even have to work at the opening ceremony. They just like found a ticket for me and said, "Hey, you kid, you go. You'll probably enjoy this." All the old wizened, like the guys working at the BBC who'd been to like 10 of these things.
Yeah.
We were just like, whatever, opening ceremony. Like, we got some tickets here. Who wants to go? And I was like, I'll go.
Yeah.
And so they got me this ticket and said, right, well, go for it. And the ticket was for what's called an ENG position, which stands for Electronic News Gathering and means basically TV crews.
Right.
Like if you're a news TV crew, here's like a ticket for you. You can like get in and like film the thing from like a TV position.
Right.
So like, sure, I'll take that, whatever. But you don't need to do any work, just go and do it. So I got in there, but there were a few spare seats in front of this TV position, and they had all the goodies, because you got a goodie bag when you went to the opening ceremony.
Goodie bag?
Like a box. It was
wow.
It was like a 10-sided, like a beautiful box, like shaped like a drum.
Yeah.
And it was a drum. Like, the whole point was that you opened it up and inside was a beater for the drum.
Okay.
And then there was like a white reflective Mac for you to put on that would allow the lights from the show to beam off you to create these cool effects.
Yeah.
And you had a bunch of other like fun little bits and pieces. Like, there was a light that you could wave. And so everybody in the arena got one of these packs for like audience participation. So I grabbed one of those off one of these spare seats, put on all the gear and everything, got the drum ready, and I just took part in the whole ceremony.
Yeah.
Had a whale of a time. Like, honestly, it's one of the greatest nights I've ever had. It was such a cool ceremony. I'd never been to anything like that before. And I watched it back last night on YouTube. The whole thing is there. 3 hours long. Like, the athletes marching it, that got a little long. But the rest of it, it's like, Uganda. You're like, oh, come on, Uganda. What are you even doing in the Winter Olympics? Like, eventually it's like, all right, come on. Are we done with the athletes now? 2 people walk in. Hong Kong, 2 people come in. You're like, all right, yeah. Yeah, Greece are the first ones out. You're like, what are you doing, Greece? Are you lost?
Yeah.
It's the Winter Olympics, Greece. Come on, get out of here. So,
I just came for the party.
So anyway, watched the whole thing back last night, and I got surprisingly emotional.
Oh,
it actually had a real effect on me because that Olympics in general transformed my life.
Yeah.
Until that point, working in England for the BBC, very happy, thanks. Great job, loved it. No plans other than to continue doing that.
Right.
Came to Vancouver, various things transpired, and totally derailed that plan, and now here we are in Yellowknife. And so all of that stems from Vancouver 2010.
Right.
And the opening ceremony is obviously emblematic of the whole thing. And I had such a good time that night that watching it back and like remembering who I was exactly 10 years ago and kind of, just what it felt like to be there then was really like surprisingly powerful. I have never watched that ceremony back since, never even thought about it. But then went and did it last night. And like even 5 minutes in was just like, oh my God, I remember every bit of this.
Yeah.
And this was one of the coolest things I ever did. And it like the Vancouver Olympics, I would say maybe tied with the London Olympics, are like the last 2 Olympics that I think anybody really enjoyed. Like the Sochi Winter Olympics in Russia were like weird, Disneyfied sort of, ta-da, here's an Olympics in the middle of a really warm place. Like, you thought Vancouver was warm for the Winter Olympics? Sochi was ridiculous. It was like T-shirt weather.
Yeah. I mean, not being there, Canada's hockey teams both won gold again. So, I thought it was a great Olympics.
Right. But, like, in terms of, like, an actual Olympics that, like, local people and people in the country itself, like, really got into.
Right.
I got no impression of that.
Yeah, I can't imagine the spirit of togetherness was exactly alive in Sochi, Russia.
Right. Rio 2016... was full of issues. All sorts of stuff was going on. Like, the legacy there has been pretty terrible.
God, that like, just thinking about that one just kind of makes me squirm in my seat a little. Just, like, makes me uncomfortable.
Right. Pyeongchang, last year, 2 years ago, whatever, was like, all right, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, I didn't get anything like the sense of full-on, like, party in the streets.
Right.
We're having a national party.
Yeah.
That Vancouver delivered and then London delivered a couple of years later. Like, and they were also like, maybe I'm just old and bitter like my older colleagues at the BBC were now.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to a few of these. Maybe I just don't get as amped anymore.
Right.
But those were the first 2 Olympics that I went to. And like Vancouver 2010 was insane each night in downtown Vancouver. I would finish work, walk back to the hotel that we had, and you would just be dodging street parties all the way back to the point where you were sort of starting to feel like, okay, guys, can we dial it down a little bit? Because this is crazy. Like, I'm just trying to walk home.
Yeah.
And, like, there are just people everywhere on the streets.
Yeah.
Like, having the time of their lives. But to the point where, like, you're lucky if you don't get, like, elbowed 8 times by people just trying to get home. It was amazing. Like, the party atmosphere was just off the scale. And, like, that 3 weeks, I don't know what it was like for Canadians. That's the interesting thing, because I saw it at the time from a very British, very foreign perspective of, oh, here's what this country's like.
Right.
But I've never had a chance to really talk to anyone now about, like, what it was like then. Like, how into it was Yellowknife, for example. Like, I just don't know. Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't there, but I did have some friends that were there for those Olympics. And, it seemed like everyone was very much on the same wavelength. You know, not looking at it through the same scope as you, like, you know, coming across an ocean to cover an Olympics. And, you know, kind of having that bright-eyed, bushy-tailness because it's your first time going into that kind of atmosphere. But everything I've ever heard about those Olympics are very, very overwhelmingly positive. And one of the nice things now is if you go to Vancouver and you go to that where the Olympic Village was, it's not just a desolate wasteland like other past Olympic sites. It's actually, they've kind of, I think they've really worked hard to make that area thrive and not become that. And I think that's just part of the spirit of those Olympics that have carried over. People are like, we want to kind of like continue this momentum that this event built, which was really nice.
That I've got so many crazy memories from that Olympics. I remember like insane details. Like I know the names of the people I sat next to on the plane, even though I never met them before.
Oh wow!
They were just like, there was an Austrian journalist next to me and things like that. We just chatted the whole way. I must have been unbearable for anyone like within 10 feet of me for this whole Olympics. I was having too much fun. I remember one of the highlight memories just for how absurd it was. Every Olympics, certainly then, has a thing called Club Bud. Budweiser sponsors a club for the athletes.
Yeah.
You can only get in if you're an athlete or with an athlete.
Oh.
And one night I managed to like team up
with an athlete.
Wrangle an athlete.
Hey.
And got into Club Bud. And it was full of topless dancers.
Really?
Full of like podiums, the works.
Not
just
quite
like
the spirit of the Olympics, I thought.
Not what I expected, no.
Yeah.
They took over like this whole massive club, and it was just like beer and topless dancers everywhere.
Wow.
And you're not kidding. Not what you expected. Try be like, I like this young, very young, 20-something, just like walked into there like, I've been working really hard for the BBC. I had my BBC jacket on with a logo on it. I got in there and immediately took the jacket off because I was terrified of like a photo coming out. Showing me like in a work jacket in this environment. I had no idea.
Well, I assume it was very much a no photography kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's like that doesn't mean there isn't any.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's true.
Like, great. Like it only takes one tabloid journalist, for example, to be in there,
right,
and to see like a gormless guy with a BBC logo on his jacket, and be like, this will look good in the papers.
You know what? The easy way to avoid that is you just make it that's your admission. You just got to take your top off, no matter who you are.
I mean, maybe that's what everybody else would think, but this would explain a lot about what was happening up there if I had just misread that rule. But yeah, the athletes...
Well, you did it. You took something off.
Everybody... I took something off, yes.
Took a layer. That's a start.
Everybody, like, obviously Olympic athletes spend, or they should spend, if they're doing it right, 4 years without, frankly, much enjoyment. You know? Like, it's just a harsh training environment. If you're doing it right, and if you're at the very top of your game, every single thing that goes into your body is intensely scrutinized, not only for its nutritional quality, but for whether or not it's legal in terms of a drug or something like that.
Yep.
You know, a lot of effort goes into that. You have to be so careful about tainted anything.
Or at least
into
that
your
it's
system.
screenable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It can be illegal. You just got to be able to hide it. That's all.
Welcome to the Russian Olympic Committee. So much effort goes into these things. You don't get a chance to like let your hair down. You probably haven't touched alcohol for years.
Right.
But then in the middle of an Olympics, half these athletes are done. Right?
Yeah.
And the moment they're done, they're really, really done.
Yeah.
And they'll go to Club Bud or wherever else. I mean, there's a reason why so much sex gets had at an Olympics. Right? Like, that is a fact that people discuss all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's because you got a lot of, like, the world's fittest human beings who suddenly, after 4 years, have got a lot of time on their hands and not a care in the world. And that is why these things exist. And that was an eye-opening evening at that thing. Because there were a lot of athletes going very hard.
Yeah. Well... We'll have to maybe dig into some stories from you on that at a later date. But we got no time.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.